Well, howdy ho, howdy hey. We're gonna play. Wait to see if this thing is actually live or not. Lane Whisper 7 tonight.
Nothing for me. Whatever Piggy wants, as long as we got it. I've been sick. Oh, not long.
Yeah, she ate something that tore her up, so
I think it was the bell peppers.
amen.
But
But
I'm
like you said, that happened the other night on that other dish
yeah,
that you did. And
yeah,
as more people come in, I'll explain what's on my head.
uh, yeah. I finally got some sleep. I laid down a lot, and I've had to get out and run to the restaurant. Get out and run. Get up and run. I finally gave up and said, forget it, and set up for the longest between bouts of running.
Between that and fighting for covers,
About 4 o'clock, I laid down. 3:30, 4, like that.
yeah, at one point she was trying to straighten out a corner, and when she did, the cover got pulled off of me and was straight down the middle. I yanked it back.
He did. I got my own cover.
What it is, we got one sheet on there that just goes to the edges of the mattress, and it kind of messes things up. So we will soon change sheets and stuff on that thing. And get that going. I seen Abbott was in here claiming to be first, and then technically he's first, but Mama Linda trumped him. Melinda Dobson, howdy hey, howdy ho, howdy hey, howdy ho,
Hey,
howdy
Miss
hey.
Melinda.
So, oh me, a little tired. We stayed up late again last night. I slept till what, about 2:30.
Somebody 2:33. Whatever it was, a few minutes before you got up that I laid down, and I think I slept for about an hour and a half, and I feel a lot better.
Yeah. And of course, I got up all hemmed up, kinked up. Oh my goodness. I'm still gonna have a great day anyway. Even in spite of, because this time I'm gonna do it. I feel good. I feel bad. I'm gonna have a great day either way.
Well, I'm having a good day now.
Right? She feel a little better after that little bit of good sleep she got.
Yeah. It's Piggy something to eat, make our vitamins, and I may be going to bed early tonight.
Anything's possible. Because 6:45 does come early.
It does. And the reason I was up so late is I was getting videos edited and posted. I edited the video coming out tomorrow, which is the bacon cream cheese mushroom, stuffed mushroom. And then I also edited the signature dish coming out Friday.
Yeah.
And I've got that set up for members only right now. Members can see it prior to it going public.
Yeah. And the target for that particular dish has already got set because they have membership to it. They loved it and everything. But here's the only thing about doing those YouTube giveaway memberships. We don't get nothing out of it. Membership thing's supposed to be for another way to help support the channel and get a little bit of money in. But when you do it with the free memberships from YouTube, you don't get nothing out of it. So that kind of negates uh, the whole idea behind it. Now I get it. YouTube may be thinking, well, this is the way they could, you know, put out teasers and maybe get people to continue on with that membership. But a lot of folks either won't or can't afford to do so. So they'll get that free membership. They'll glean everything that's in there. Then they'll assign it. There you go. Kathy Naylor, howdy.
Hi, Kathy.
Oh, that's rough, Kathy. Well, I just appreciate the fact you stopped in and said hi.
Most definitely.
So if you got to go, you got to go. It's like I tell folks, life stops for no one. You got to do what you got to do. You know, it's a great thing that you uh, had the kind thought to stop by and say so. So it's all good.
Yeah. Paul's hurt.
It's also like I tell folks, if you're here, fine. If you're not, fine. It's like when Elena and I got married. We talked about who showed up and who didn't. And I told her, I said, who was there was who God meant to be there at that time. Purdy!
Hey, fish.
Listening while I work. Is that anything like whistling while I work?
They're
But,
doing a live action movie of that.
huh? Are they?
And they're not using dwarves. They're using full size.
They gonna mess that up too.
Yep.
But it's like if people show up late in a live and they apologize for being late. No, you ain't late. You were here when God had for you to be here.
Mm-hmm.
See, there ain't nothing happens that God didn't already plan out. I mean, he planned it out before he hit the enter button on play that program. All this is really just a big, huge computer program. We are virtual reality to God's reality. And there's some little science tidbits that'll back that up. So God wrote the program and all the sub-programs that go with it. And so everything happens for a reason, and every reason has a purpose. And you can say that vice versa. Just like perception and perspective. Perception affects perspective, and perspective affects perception.
Yep.
That's right, Kathy, he does. And it was planned out thousands of years ago. That's why he knows what's going to happen, because he already ordained it right down to the most minute detail. Even the neutrinos and the way they go, he directed that. When, where, how, why. And that's something that's such on a huge scope, people can't really fully understand it. But that's why he knows, because he made it that way. So if you're here, fine. If you're not, fine. That's ordained of God for whatever reason God had for it. So nothing like that ever hurts my feelings, because that's just how it is. And that's why I say life stops for no one. So you do what you got to do. Now, there are some that would do that to be me. Well, joke's on them. God says even the wicked shall do his will.
Mm-hmm.
But God had it for them to be doing what they're doing, because he already knows how they're going to turn out in the end. They still have free will. We all still have free will. But God already knows how we think because He put us together. Yeah, so you know, we still have the choice, but He already knows what choices we're going to make. So, and again, that's just it includes us, it includes the wind, the weather, the birds, the bees, neutrinos, atoms. I mean, everything because He is everything. Because He made all of this out of His love. Love is energy. He is pure love. So He created this out of His own pure love and ordered how everything is going to be. And that's why He is everywhere and at one place all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah, Linda. I mean the rain. I mean everything. You know, even when we get stupid, He knows we're going to get stupid and do something stupid. But He uses even that to guide us along our path. You know, sometimes when we go down that broken road that's more like a rough mountain trail that there ain't no trail there yet, with all the briars and thorns and sharp rocks and everything else as we bounce our way down, get all scruffed up, skinned up, broken up, everything. He already knows we're going to do that. He already knows we're going to take that misstep, but He's going to use each bump along the way as something to teach us something. I mean, His foresight for detail and what was going to be in order to produce something for His purpose, uh, we can't comprehend it. As much as God has shown me, I can't comprehend it. It's just too much to take in. So, you know, all things for a reason, every reason's got a purpose. All things for a purpose, and every purpose got a reason. So, you know, and that again is why I'm going to have a great day every day, even on my worst day, because you got to live to it anyhow. So I might as well smile. And even though I might not be smiling on the outside, I'll be smiling on the inside. Because I sit here and think a lot. And God will load up my head with stuff to think about. And then sometimes He'll take and reveal what that line of thought is leading to. You know, I've seen how and why the earth has four corners. The earth is round, but it does have four corners. Uh, I understand why that is. You know, I understand how God made all this. It comes back to Einstein's famous equation: E equals mc squared. You know, that equation is used by man to figure out how much energy they can gain from splitting a particular atom.
Hey, Dale.
Dale!
Work obligations. I understand those.
Well, Dale, you do what you got to do. Does that mean you're not going to be having your devotional tonight? Because if not, that'll be a bummer, but we understand. But anyway, God used that equation in a manipulated form. All right. Well, we'll have to just see you next week on that then. But appreciate you stopping in. Kathy Naylor, God's wisdom is not only vast, it is infinite. It is as infinite as He is because He is wisdom. When it is said that He is everything, that is literal. He is knowledge. He is wisdom. He is love. He is purity. He is holy.
Mhm.
So it's not just vast, it's infinite and incomprehensible to us. You know, the distance between our knowledge and wisdom and God's knowledge is wisdom is more vast than the understanding of a neutrino and us. Now, keep in mind, a neutrino, so far as we know to date, is the smallest object known, the smallest piece of matter known.
I thought that was a quark.
Huh?
I thought that was a quark.
No, a neutrino is smaller than that.
Oh, okay. Y'all see what I know, don't you? I don't know nothing
A
about
quark
this
is a piece of matter inside of an atom,
thing. Okay.
and it is small. A neutrino is small.
Okay. Cool. Well,
It
yeah,
is so small they can track it to a point, and then it'll seem to disappear, and then it'll pick back up over here somewhere.
Backtrack Hooligan, hello. There's Avid.
Backtrack. Well, Abbott, seeing as the piggy wouldn't be living for that event, I guess it would depend on whoever's doing it. you can either you can either slap me with it or dip me in it. It'd be whoever doing it. So, but yeah, God's wisdom is not only vast; it is infinite. There is, and we have, you know, and like I said, our knowledge and wisdom and God's knowledge and wisdom is the space in between us on that is more so than a neutrino and us. You know. Well, all right, backtrack you out there delivered. I take it. Uh, Hope you got many orders. Hope you make much money. Hope you get a lot of tips. Good ones. Uh, so anyway, yeah, Kathy, if you have to take off, you take off, especially with something that dangerous around. Uh, Everybody be praying for Kathy and those around her out there, and everybody out there that are affected by the wildfires. That's some dangerous stuff. Sound like they get the Santa Ana winds either early or late out there. You do live out that way to where uh, you're affected by the Santa Ana winds, aren't you? Out southwest out there somewhere. I know I experienced them one March or April while I was in the Marine Corps out at 29 Palms. Man, I tell you what, I was glad I had my camis on, things covered, because that's like being put in a sandblaster
That's a real wind.
with heat. You know, you're not only getting heat, but you're getting sandblasted with heat and sand. This stuff will tear you up.
Mm-hmm.
If you had any exposed skin, I guarantee you it'll take a couple of layers or more off. And that was even in between some buildings. I couldn't imagine out in the open with it where it get more force to it. But Santa Ana winds, they ain't no joke. Yeah, well, I imagine not for long. Especially if you're doing it the baptism way. Be gasping for air and getting nothing but barbecue sauce. Be making sure it gets all over and inside. Make sure you get all that flavor all the way through. Oh, me. Well, y'all might notice the cap. It's not my usual cap. This was the gift that Christine brought to me down at Biggin's. It's a Biggin's hat. And as they've showed it, it's got that number on the back, 706-253-PORT. And it's got their little thing on the front. It's got a pig on there, dolled up with American flag style. And it says Biggin's Barbecue. Okay, so now I know for a fact it's one G, not two. I've been wrong all this time spelling it, but that's all right.
At least try and spell it. That's the main thing. She's in Texas.
Oh, okay. She's a Texas lady. That's all good too. Texas is a great state. uh, well, I've heard everybody talk about Texas and the kind of weather that goes on there. It's just as bad as them Santa Ana winds out there in California. But either way you slice it, wildfires are dangerous. Much prayer needed for those out there. So depending on where you're at, you probably not that far from Johnny and Christine and Pooch and others.
And again, she could be 1,000 miles away.
No, I don't think that far. Really. Well, having by the time it got to that point, it wouldn't matter no how because the pig had done been consumed. Yeah, see, Johnny and Christine are just inside of Oklahoma somewhere. Pooch and Purdy are in a city that's on the outskirts of Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah, they are near Crowley, Texas,
Well, they're in Crowley.
which is west of the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Yeah. But from what I can tell from the maps, it's all one big city.
Yeah, it's just they live in the outskirts.
It's one big thing.
Yeah.
So
They live more to the Fort Worth side than the Dallas side.
right, and Johnny and Christine aren't far from Tin Killer where they had that meet up there. The Pine Cove Fest thing, I'm not sure how far away that is from all of them, but there's enough they go camping down there to have that meet up. Yeah, the thing is, they'll enjoy it because that backbite's some good stuff,
Especially on Piggies.
right? When you see her signature dish come out, Friday?
Right.
You'll understand.
Unless you have a membership. If you got a membership, you can watch it now. But
And even put some shrimp with it and dip that shrimp into some of the drippings off that backbite. Pork belly.
Kathy, it has to do with Piggy's name. Avid loves to barbecue and grill. Piggy is Piggy.
Yeah.
He likes ribs. Avid likes ribs and ham and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And he loves to smoke meat.
Loves to smoke piggies.
See, on Elaine's channel, I am the happy guinea pig. One night in Alive, Abbott asked Elaine, "Where's Piggy?" And thus Piggy was born.
Piggy was born.
Oh yeah, that'll be real good, Abbott. Said it's been the backbite has been sitting for a year.
Oh yeah, mine has two in the refrigerator over a year. And it's still good. I mixed mine with maple syrup and brown sugar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So after that, I was henceforth known as Piggy. Not long after that, Piggy's Piddles became a channel. And since then, it has become a running joke that Avid's going to hunt and smoke the Piggy. If you look at Avid's channel, he has a video just a tad over a minute long where he's having fun with that joke.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious. I had laughed, and Elaine was like, "What you laughing at?" I said, "You got to watch this." And I normally don't bust out that much laughing on things. I'll find it funny, but but to bust out on it, it has to be hilarious, and it was.
It really was.
Right, Mama Linda? Right. And as you know, there's regular version and salt-free version. And when you use them pork, you don't need salt, so you can use the salt-free version, have the same thing. Tippy!
Well, you actually do. Well, because I salt my pork anyway, so that's why.
Right. So the salt-free version of the rub, Piggy's the rub.
Yeah.
And don't misunderstand, it is called Piggy's the rub, but Elaine created it, just like she did the backbite. And it's good stuff. The rub, it brings out the natural flavors of the food that you're putting it on. And of course, we have learned that there are some out there that take and use it as the flavoring for the pig.
Yeah.
Because it's that good.
I like it because it can be used either way. It can be used as a seasoning, or it can be used as an actual rub.
Right, Candy, right. It is Piggy's Piddles. Because I piddle. And I am called Piggy, so it's Piggy's Piddles. But Avid had a part of bringing that about. And another friend of ours from YouTube who has passed away some while back had a part in that. And Elaine had a part in that because I really wouldn't want to, because it mean I'd have to do all sorts of stuff and everything. Elaine was like, "Well, I can do all that." And I was like, "Well, I was something." So.
And now Piggy does it.
And now I'm doing some of it. Yeah, I'm not as good at it or as knowledgeable about it yet as. Thank you, Purdy. It is delicious. Purdy's had some of it. Her and Pooch. They like it. David likes it. There's been a few others got a hold of it and likes it. Johnny and Christine has had it. They like it. And those that were at that mini meetup with us each got some of it. Megan and Niecy has had it. And when they got their bottle when we went to that meetup down there, Niecy said, "This is coming with me to Belgium." wish we could shoot her a second ball real quick so she had backup.
Yeah, she's leaving out today, so she probably already on her way.
Yeah, she probably done gone. We wish her a safe and swift tour over there, get her back home. I have found my nickname for her. I told her down there I had to think about it and find me a nickname for her. Right, Candy? No, Elaine wasn't the one who named me Piggy. It was Abbott. Because one night in the live, he asked Elaine, "Where's Piggy?" and he was taking that off the happy guinea pig thing. And you're right, I can be a piggy down here. Uh,
He used to be more of a piggy than he is now.
yeah, but disability, nerve damage, severe, slowed me down, so I can't eat as much as I used to, not by a long shot.
Leave the chips alone.
Okay, just letting you know you're right about where they're at and everything. And now, Kathy, as far as the happy guinea pig, I came up with that. Guinea pigs used to be what scientists would experiment on. Elaine loves to experiment with the cooking in the kitchen, and I is happy about it.
You fix to get in trouble, little girl. How?
Tish, you didn't know? As long as you've known me, I've said it many times. But that's all right. Now you do.
He got his name from Abbott and got the channel idea from Brian.
Brian Wonder Arts and Adventures. Crystal Lee Ware's uh, deceased husband. She has since moved on. I'm glad she did. That tore her up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brian, he's a great artist. I think Thomas Kincaid type potential in him. And some of the stuff he did, I think, was as good as. Uh, but it wasn't just painting; it was with wood.
Yeah, I love his wood burning.
Yeah, yeah. So tragic loss of great talent, but all things to God's purpose. Yeah, that's how I got my name, Tish. Uh, so here I am. And it started out true to the name, Piggy's Piddles. So I piddle with stuff. I piddle a little bit with wood and working on the car a little bit and trying to do something with that. So I need to get back out there and do a little something with it. The van, that is. Cool beans, Mount Melinda. Uh, and so that's how it started out. But then God used it for His purpose to start bringing out other things.
Mm-hmm.
I used to write posts on Facebook about life and God and all that that reached some people. Yes, ma'am. That was uh, my one condition to doing it because I'm kind of a private person and like to keep it that way. And it's become a thing. Makes people ask questions. Down there at that mini meetup at Biggins, yeah, I told some of them, maybe one decade I'll get over myself and stop wearing it. And I told that to Jesse, Lazy Days Ahead, the mod father. He said, dude, he said, that's your stick. And everything. He likes it that it makes people ask questions and wonder. He said, that's your mystique, your stick. Well, lives and if I'm in the video.
Yeah.
Now, if people sign up on Elaine's members only, there's video, and I ain't wearing a mask.
You might see pictures of Piggy without his mask.
Right? That's for the members area of the channel. Yes, that's once we get big enough to where people want to see that. Of course, we ain't got a lot to offer on there yet, also, so that might be a thing. Uh, Pretty Ridge, howdy, howdy. Yeah, me and Mama Linda and I do talk a lot. She's a very special lady to the Piggy.
Mhm.
Uh, she is to me like Kickapoo Crafty Cat was to Pooch. Uh,
Mama Linda's family. That's just all.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but again, as I said, God has used it for His purpose because God comes up in the conversation. Something will get said and it'll hit my brain to speak whatever gets put in my head. That's how I used to do on Facebook. Is I would write something hit my head and I'd go to write. And yeah, there's quite a few people who uh, are now friends, you know, young and old alike, who uh, will shoot me a message from time to time or make a post or look for the comment that I will leave. And but my main thing is, aside from that, is encouraging folks. Encourage people to do what it is that they desire to do. To achieve whatever goal it is that they're wanting to achieve. So I give that which I was never given in that sense. And and the only way you'll ever know whether or not you can do a thing is if you try to do that thing. Now, if you tried, you try and try and try, and you tried several different ways trying to do it, and in the end you do find that you can't do it, well, then at least you tried. But, Thomas Edison tried 2,000 times to make a light bulb and only succeeded on the 2001st time. So, think on that. So, you know, if you got God with you, you know, you keep striving towards it, He will give you the desire of your heart. Kentucky woman, Carly. Well, howdy.
Hello, Carla. Welcome in. There's your music.
Glad to see you. So, you know, and I try to make people laugh if I can.
They do that.
Sometimes.
They cracks me up all the time.
Yeah, I've been good training for her on her videos because I can track something out there and won't even phase her a bit on the surface. And she'll just keep right on going with what she was doing.
Hey, you got to.
Now, it wasn't so easy for her at the beginning, but she'd already had experience with that prior to doing videos, so that helps some.
Well, Piggy hadn't said what I had said is we can be talking and I can crack him up.
Oh, Lord have mercy. She'll say something just as straight faced and straight laced as can be, and it will make me bust a gut.
I'm good that way, yeah.
And for the simple fact is because it's whatever it is, it's true. So, yeah, if I can make somebody smile and even laugh, my job here is done. But likewise, if I can encourage someone to go after their dream, to go after their goals, to go after the desire of their heart, then I have also done my job. And I got Derek Fowler to start the channel because I told him, I said, I tell you what, I dared him. I said, if you can handle doing it, I can handle watching it. And he's took off and run with it. He's doing great. And there have been others that I help to encourage that are now very large channels. And we've let them know that no, we don't want a shout out or anything. We just love them. So I've got one whose younger brother, they all know who I am. I can email them and tell them something. They'll know me and everything. Because his younger brother is a very good artist. Josie!
Hey, Josie, welcome in.
And I was the first one to pay him more than his asking rate for the little happy guinea pig caricature that y'all see. I made him aware of his worth. And he was doing YouTube a little bit, but he helps with the family business, which is his brother's YouTube channel. And he and his girlfriend and his and his brother's mama and his older brother's wife are all involved in that channel doing things. And they're what, past 900K?
Some of them, yeah.
There's another channel that I mention a lot, Stumpy Nubs. His name is James Hamilton. He is a world-class master craftsman with wood. And I can email him and he knows who I am because there's a video he done on a tool that I was chomping at the bit to have. And that video was showing how he got hurt with it. And that told me right there I had no business with one of those tools. Because if a man with his knowledge, skill, and experience get hurt with a tool, I'd be committing suicide if I got it and used it. But say I got severe nerve damage. I got nerve damage to the spinal cord. That's why I'm 100% disabled. And so things don't work exactly like they should. And after so much weight or length of time holding a weight, my fingers, my hands will just let go against my will. Well, that tool was one of those circular chainsaw blades that you put on a grinder to do wood carving.
Quit, that hurts.
If I got one of them, I'd be dead. So I let that man know he saved my life in comments. Then later on, there's a time people giving him a hard time about being so up on the safety. I'd comment and remind him of I was one whose life he saved because of that video. Keep on rocking with the safety tips. You know, and I would never get nobody coming at me on that because truth is truth. And he's over 900K, but he knows who I am. Yeah, Mama Linda, I know you got some big ones that know who you are too.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Well, this is why they know me. Other big channels. And yeah, so I encouraged him by letting him know he saved a life. I encouraged that other channel by making the younger brother aware of his worth. He'd be sitting there doing things like my little happy guinea pig for folks, and some a lot more involved and better than mine, for $100 a pop. And folks, he'd spend 10 hours just making the rough draft of what that is. Not to mention everything he did on the computer to make it happen. And and he'd be doing the rough draft on the computer, but then he would also do the finished product all the way through, kind of like Critter Creek. Yeah, he's as good as Critter Creek. And you know, so folks would get him to do this, and I'm paying him $100 a pop. Here, well, I just like doing it anyway. I told him, I said, young man, I said, you got talent. And I said, you know, you cut your own nose off to spite your face by spending that much time for such a low amount.
Mm-hmm.
We paid what, $250?
Paid $250. Yeah.
Paid him $250.
And I was expecting to pay about $400 for it at least.
I expected at least $500. When he said $100, I said, no, I can't do that. I can't let you take that little amount for doing that kind of work. And I explained it to him. So, needless to say, that family loves Piggy, because I showed that young man his worth. So in that way, I encouraged him. You know, and I've encouraged many others. I've been one of the ones who helped encourage Danny Town. Don't get to see much from her, but you know, at least she did put one out. I told her I want to see it. You know, because doing YouTube, folks, is like this. YouTube is about your life and who you are. There's going to be people who like it, and there's going to be people who ain't. Those who do, great. Those who don't, they don't matter no how. So I advise people to just be and do you. They'll either like it or they won't. Those who do, great. Those who don't matter. And love your haters. Joke's on them. They sitting there commenting, hating on you. They're helping your interaction on your YouTube, which counts towards getting paid. When you get big enough, have enough subs and enough time in to get that going. And that one family I talked about, you know, he said at one time, this is before he had 100K. He said that all his other ventures that he was into, which was, he does storage auctions, and put that on video, the show going through them and all like that, stuff that's worth a little money and all like that, and everything. He's very high energy on there, and everything. And they would take and sell that stuff. They do eBay, Poshmark, and other things to sell that stuff, get rid of it, and doing other things involved with that. And he said he was making up more off his YouTube than all his other ventures combined. That's because he had the subs. He had good content. Still has good content. And very high energy, very likable young man. Very hard working. And he's hard at it because he has a problem that his daddy had that his daddy didn't do good with. It was gambling. Loved to gamble. Made it hard on his mama to make ends meet for them all. Well, his girlfriend, now wife, who they now have a baby, is working on being a year old. Man, time flies. Her name is Amber. She took and she channeled that energy into what he does on YouTube. We tried different things on YouTube to try to get it going. And he hit payday when he started doing storage auctions. But Amber was very vital in bringing that about because she channeled that energy to gamble into gambling on storage units in auctions. And you go to the auctions, you buy one. Yeah, now he's gotten into where he can buy very high dollar storage units, and but all that came from a gambling addiction, desire for it, that his now wife channeled the energy of into his YouTube venture, and man, it's been awesome for them. And so I had a little part in helping to encourage all them. Yeah, and it's been great. I love to see their success. You know, they work hard, and he's just being who he is. And now in person, I've not got to meet him in person, but he said it himself, and Amber has said it. In person, he's kind of shy and reserved until you get to know him. But on video, he's able to be himself and let it out, and he enjoys it. That's another thing about doing YouTube. If you enjoy it, the people who watch it will see that you enjoy it and are apt to enjoy it with you. They may not have one lick of interest in what it is you do, but they'll have an interest in you because they'll like who you are, because you enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, that also shows that you're not going to live long on YouTube. So you got to enjoy it. Yeah, people get nervous when they start, because they don't know what they're doing. They're not sure of things, all of that. What's the worst that somebody can do? Type out some words and call you things or say things about you, whatever like that ain't true, all like that, because they're just mean. They're also ignorant. And they're also idiots because, they're lazy, can't do it, and don't want to see nobody else succeed because they can't succeed, or they're too lazy to try. And it's like God laid it on Elaine's heart when we started her channel. She was in the kitchen doing something one day and was in the middle of trying to remodel that space in there in the kitchen so that she'd have more room to work. One day God laid it on her heart and said, why not? You do it anyway. And thus her channel was born. And y'all know she's being herself. And I'm being myself in the background on hers. And, it's been a slow progress, gaining subscribers and watch hours and all that stuff that goes with it. You got that right, Mama Linda. But just be like that duck, let that water roll on off of your back, because people are going to be like that anyhow. A lot of people out there are mediocre people, and they don't like to see an atlas rising up and succeeding. Somebody that can do things, make things happen, is an atlas. Somebody who can do what it takes to succeed is an atlas. And the ocean of mediocre and lazy people out there don't like to see that. So they're going to hate on you. But you can laugh at them because they're helping your interaction, which helps your channel. Overlook the ignorance and smile at the potential gain that it's going to help you get. Joke's on them. You remember that? You won't have a problem with that portion of it. And so you just go on with it. Just be and do you. Have fun and enjoy what you do. And run with it. Overlook the ignorance. Keep going and smile because they helped you out. They think they hurting your feelings when you gain enough to make YouTube a viable income for yourself. You can smile at them. Thank you for the extra dollars. You helped do that. Thank you. So then you get good mods to help watch out for trolls and scammers and all like that. If you do lives and you bring people up on panel, be sure to check them out before you bring them up on the screen. That they are who they say they are, because there's been some people get a surprise once that person was allowed up on screen and it wasn't that person, it was something nasty. You got to watch out for those things. And it's part of the learning process. Almost everybody has been hit by such things. It's caused problems, but now a lot of people know about it and can watch out for it. And, by making sure that, down in the basement, as Mike's Fishing Home calls it, you can see the person. You can see them moving around, doing what to do, whatever, and all like that. That way you don't get that nasty surprise. But that's YouTube in a nutshell. I've told Elaine, I said it's kind of like Triple H. Time to play the game. Well, that describes YouTube. It's a game. Don't sweat the numbers. Just be and do you. Do what you got to do. And go on. Because the numbers will drive you crazy. People all the time sitting there watching their numbers, watching the analytics on their channel, and worry over what are they doing wrong. Well, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's that some people are going to like it, some people ain't, and YouTube is going to play with your numbers. They do that to mess with you. It's like, all right, who has the endurance to keep going anyway? That's part of what they do. So it kind of helps weed out those who are strong enough to keep going from those who aren't. It's like another YouTuber has said, some people wonder why they ain't getting subscribers. I know why I don't. I'm not that interested. I'm kind of boring, and all I do is talk mostly. And a lot of times what I talk about is about faith in God. Well, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I ain't got that much to show, really not that much to talk about other than. And that's not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody wants to see some kind of action going on, some kind of high energy going on. That's your big channels. Johnny and Christine, they're shooting up like a weed, like a rocket taking off. They're already almost 16K. But Johnny's got a lot of good things going for him on his channel. Him and Christine are just lovable people. First time I saw them on video through somebody else's live at a meetup, saw them come up, I've loved them ever since.
I'm gonna lay down for a bit.
I bet, and I have loved them ever since. You know, moment I saw them, you could just tell they were just great people. But Johnny also has a lot to offer on his channel. He's got the cattle auctions, uh, equipment auctions when he goes to look for farm equipment for what he needs on the farm. Uh, the lives that he has. Uh, he's a very interesting presence when he's on the channel, when he's on the video. Uh, Christine is just lovable. You know, she's high energy. And, you know, you just can't help but fall in love with her. And then you got the fact that Johnny makes a great video. He's able to get a drone and make drone footage to add in. He puts good music with what he does. You know, these are all factors in making a great channel. Oh Lord, backtrack, I feel for you. Yeah, Mama Linda, cattle sales. You know, I can't hardly listen to those because it's real loud and my hearing is messed up. It really pounds on me, but I do like them. But like I told Johnny, if I ever wanted a cow or whatever, wanted to go to an auction to get one, I'd take him with me because I'd come out of there wondering where my money went. Oh Lord, backtrack. Insult to injury right there, my friend. But anyway, Johnny has all these factors that go into making a great channel. Plus, on top of that, he's able to do the meetups and he networks and he's in a lot of lives, you know, and everything. And then he's GTO. He got that drag car, that 69 GTO Judge, which GTO is my favorite car. The 69 GTO Judge uh, specifically is my favorite car. Well, that's good, backtrack. And yeah, so he makes great content. So he's shooting up. And the more he shoots up, the more it'll get out there and the more he will grow. And yeah, they're blown away by it, but I'm not. Uh, when Jason Crocker started, when I started watching him, I started watching him when he was right at or right before, right after 1K. And I knew then he was going to blow up. And he has, and he's been quite successful in his YouTube venture. And I told him then. He didn't believe me, but he does now. But I told him then he was going to blow up. I said, you got that it factor. Johnny and Christine, they have that it factor. So they will probably grow pretty quickly. And the rest of us, we'll just have to keep chipping away at it until we eventually build up. My channel, I don't expect it. I really don't expect it to ever hit 1K. And I'm okay with that. I'm just a little bit of additional bits for Elaine on her channel. And the thing on that is both channels belong to Elaine. And get them done, get them done. And yeah, so once it gets traction, it takes off on her channel and starts becoming a viable income, whatever this channel helps to bring in will help that. And once it becomes a viable income for her, if anything was to happen to me, I won't be worried about it because she'll be taken care of. 14 stops. Wow. 180 miles. That's a lot of driving, dude. So anyway, that's YouTube. I mean, and for us, we've gotten something far more valuable than the potential income someday if it should it become a viable income. And that is the most awesome, terrific friends one could ever hope to meet. Oh, wow. I hope you've got a vehicle that can handle that well. That's a lot of food. Well, good. Again, like I said, I hope you're getting good tips on top of what you make. Says like that right there. I love to see people enjoying themselves and becoming successful. Success being their idea of success. You don't have to be Elon Musk to be considered successful. If you feel successful with what you've done yourself, then you are a success. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Transit 350. Is that like some a kind of van of some sort? Hey, that all I can tell you is work that money maker, buddy. A gift is still money. Something you didn't have to buy. That saved you money. So like old Ben Franklin said, a penny saved is a penny earned. Oh, okay. I get it. Right. Mama Linda, there you go. I hear you, backtrack. I wish I could, but all this doesn't make it possible. And if I could do something to make money, disability would penalize me, even up to taking away my disability. And God set this up so that I can do what I'm doing right now. I am fulfilling God's purpose for my life and doing what I'm doing. I told God once because I was struggling. And my husband was trying to make it, and I wasn't making it. I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I know you got something for me to do. I said, but I got to have an income for us to be able to make it so that I can do what it is you want me to do. Next thing I know, I get hurt. It was the final blow to put me out of commission in that sense. And was given 100% disability coming out the hospital from it. That took a couple of months for it to set in and get started, but it was approved coming out the hospital. It was that bad. So, backtrack, you've got that backwards. She keeps me out of trouble. So, I wound up disabled, getting disability, and it's enough for us to survive on. So I sit here and do what I do here. You know, it's still a struggle, but I've dealt with struggling all my life. Well, that ain't nothing new. You know, I was once a very strong man. Now I've had to learn a different type of strength. That's all good too. Because in this life, it really ain't about your physical strength. It's about your mental, emotional, and spiritual strength in order to endure and get through this life. And then you can come to understand that you have no strength at all. Only Jesus, only God has any strength. And He holds you up as you go through. Yes, ma'am, Mama Linda. Sure enough. I got a lot of great hugs at that mini meetup. And you could tell the love of God was there in those hugs. You know, then they surprised me with a birthday cake, sang happy birthday to me, and they surprised me with this hat. This is a special hat. That's why this will probably be the only time anybody will ever see me wear it. Because after I do, you know, I can put it up and one day eventually get me a thing to set up for all my hats that I've gotten and everything. And this one will hold a prominent spot in that setup because it's special to me. Because what Christine and the others did not know, to my knowledge, was the fact that every time I'd been down to Biggins, meeting up with Joe and Ginger, uh, I saw this hat. I eyeballed this hat. And I really wanted one. I'd be like, yep, someday I'm going to be able to get me that hat. Now, I don't have to. They got it for me. You know, of course, you know, my jaw was on the floor, you know, because I'm just, you know, between that and the birthday cake and everything else, you know, there were other great celebrations going on. Joe's birthday was coming up. Jesse and Lisa's 41st anniversary was coming up. You know, all that was being talked about and celebrated as well, but they made me feel like it was about me. And amongst all of that, and you know, after Christine handed me this hat, she hugged me up. She got to hear something a lot of people don't get to hear. She heard me choking back to cry. You know, and off and running. Well, Abbott, like we've discussed, I might run, but it ain't gonna do me no good. You can see and hear too well, know too much about how to hunt. So I'm doomed either way it goes. As many of it, your brother that couldn't be replaced. That's what it makes you. But anyhow, and all the friends I've made on this thing, Elaine and I have made on this thing, are all irreplaceable because y'all are our family. We have blood kin, they ain't worth blood. Oh, some of them are quite successful. That don't make them worth a lick. You know, uh, they don't want to have nothing to do with us unless we have some kind of benefit to offer. Yeah, that's the only thing that brings any of them around. But here, I've met people who meet the standard that I have for myself. A little statement that I made years ago. Want me for me. And y'all do. Y'all have no expectations of me. Y'all have no uh, desire to only walk me around if I'm some kind of benefit. Y'all want to spend time with me because y'all want to spend time with me. You know, money cannot buy that. Yeah, so that's similar to something Johnny said at that meetup we had. You know, this is love. Money can't buy this. And somebody got a picture of one of the hugs me and Johnny shared, and it is a precious picture. And I might send it to some of y'all, you know, in Messenger. And I may send it to you too, because you're about the same height as Johnny, and it'll give you a good idea just how short I am. But to me, it's a very special and precious picture. And you, well, those of you whom I may send it to, I won't have I won't have to say anything to try to describe it. You'll you'll understand seeing it, and because it's precious, and it expresses the whole emotional state of the day, the closeness. Other than the video, I never got to see Johnny in my life in person until that day. The thing is, every hug shared that day was special in some way. You know, I got to meet Niecy. I done met Joe and Ginger. I done met my sister Philippa, Maggie Moo, at Megan's Fearless Adventures. You know, now I finally got to meet Niecy, and I got to meet her before she had to leave for Belgium, which she'll be there somewhere around a year and a half, maybe 2 years at most. Hopefully it'll be shorter. Uh, I've got my nickname for her now. It's special. She loves it. Well, when we first got there, and she come up, she was waiting her turn to hug on the Piggy. She did like Megan did. She kind of stood back a little. And got worked towards where we close enough. I looked at her, I said, "Come here, girlfriend." Yeah. She was like a shark on a seal. Grabbed me up and hugged on me. Made her smile. And it was a beautiful smile. You know, uh, that made my heart swell because somebody had such a beautiful, wonderful smile on her face coming in to hug on the Piggy. You know, Lisa, Jesse's girl, she gives a hug like God hugging on you. It is so full of love. And She grabbed me up the other time, and I told her, I said, "You're a hugger." She said, "Yes, I am." And sure, Abbott, I'm all about that. Anybody wants to share links, I'm all about that. For whatever they're wanting to share, as long as it's good stuff. You know what I mean. Uh, but and think about the whole day was full of special moments, precious moments, and you know they got to see the piggy sitting there with his jaw on the floor because I was just blown away by all these special things that were done for me. It was my birthday, yes, but I went down there with the mindset, Mama Bear. I went down there with the mindset that you know my gift that day was getting to meet everybody. That was my gift. And even though these other surprises were great gifts, the greatest gift I got that day was getting to meet and hug on these people that I've come to love. That was my gift. Well, I've seen her in lives, Alley Cat. Since Dale's not going to be having his devotional, I might keep going for a little while, unless y'all got something else y'all need to do. And if y'all do, I understand. But, you know, otherwise, I may keep going a while. But, because Elaine has went and laid down, she got a little tired, understandably so. I'm just sitting here jacking. But, yeah, it's just a special day. And they got something special out of it because it was the first time in my life I felt like I had a birthday. And they gave me that. So that made it even more special. You know, it's a day that I'll remember for all my life. Oh, cool. Not only sings, but writes her own songs. That's awesome. And I'll have to check that out. I've seen her in lives. Wasn't sure who she was, but I've seen her in the lives. Mama Bear, I'm sure she will rise to the challenge, especially with you coaching her and encouraging her the way you do. All right. But Kathy Naylor, are you still in there or did you have to go? If you don't answer, I'll know you had to go. But yeah, it is. This is our family. There's people who love us and whom we love. You know, uh, it's been great. But like I said, this channel too also belongs to Elaine. They're both her channels. You know, I'm just content. And yeah, I'm not exciting. I'm not energetic. I'm not a lot of things. I can't do a lot of things. You know, so I don't have a whole lot to offer. So I know my channel won't grow. But what I was going to say a while ago was that This is what Jason at the Crockers put it. All right, Randy Ridge, you take care and take it easy. Well, that's good, Mama Bear. They're not challenged. They don't get good. They don't know that it's what effort it takes. Uh, like Jason said, he did a video. And he said, I know I'm going to make some people mad. And it's true, it would. And the reason is because what he said is true. Yep, it's just a piggy sitting out here rolling mud and going oink oink. But rutting around. But he said it like this. You're wondering why your channel ain't growing. It's because you're bored and not interested. Or doing some other thing. In addition to that, that is contrary to being able to make your channel grow. I know of one channel you can go in there live and you have to type almost grammatically perfect English. And not in caps, and not this way, and not that way, and not special characters, and you have to be this way, and you have to be that way, and all like that. And that person sits back and wonders why their channel don't grow. Well, it's because you don't let people be themselves. Now, I can understand if it's somebody being nasty or uncouth, as some might say, you know, but you can't have a good time. You can't be yourself. You can't joke around, you know, and all like that. Yet that person was wondering why their channel don't grow. And their mods, they'd pop you out if they just didn't like your name. They wouldn't greet you. They wouldn't be friendly, and all that. Yeah, so everything that could be done to destroy a channel and keep it from growing was being done. Well, nobody want to watch that. And that person was in that live that I was in where I was seeing that, and I let it be known, well, I ain't going to be there. You can't be yourself. Somebody's going to be that restrictive, uh, among other things. I know I ain't welcome there, so I won't be there. No, Avid, you're not boring. But there are some things that we do that a lot of people out there just ain't interested in. You know, with the fishing community, it takes a special breed because it's a hard sell. It's like what I'm doing here. It's a hard sell. You know, it's like trying to sell life insurance, and I would know I've sold life insurance in my time. You know, you have to have people that have an interest in that want to come in on that. You know, so, and those people are sometimes hard to find because being small, we don't get out there like bigger channels do. So, until you get big enough. And it's hard to do that on certain types of channels because, you know, I'm just sitting here talking. You're just sitting there uh, doing your devotionals on Sundays and doing some fishing and doing a little smoking on the smoker. You know, unless you have a lot of pizzazz, there ain't a whole lot of people interested in that. And it's only those who are interested in that come along, and it's hard to find them because we ain't getting out there like we should, or like we would hope. Mama Linda. Evan, that won't be hard for her. She knows Piggy. She knows Piggy wants a hug from Mama Linda, so she just get me when she hugs me up. But you know, but at the same time, you can't do it if you're not being and doing who you are. That's the trick. Just be and do who you are. You know, it's going to take some of us a lot longer than it does others, and that's okay too. You say, with God having made this to His purpose, you know, I have no idea what all God is doing with it, and whether it grows or not is up to God. Now, Lane's channel, I hope it does grow because I want to see it get to a point of being a viable income. Now, we ain't looking for it to be some grandiose, huge channel and all like that. Just enough, you know. Uh, as time progresses and we build up financially on what we have and can do, you know, we'll be able to do more and add more to what we do, and that will help make the channel more interesting. It'll still be us just being and doing us, but we'd be able to do more. Uh, it's like, should we ever be able to get out of here and get us a place that's good for us, we can make it more interesting because we'd be able to function better in a place that we're comfortable with. Uh, that would help make it grow. And as it grows, that would allow us to have more coming in so that we could then do more things. But it's like anything else. You work with what you got. You put the time in to do it. But again, you also have to realize that making tons of money and having tons of subs is not everybody's idea of success on here. If I have touched someone, if God has been able to use me to come through me to touch someone, put a smile on their face, make them laugh, give them an encouraging word, build them up, and help them find that strength to keep going and keep doing, I've got my success. Success ain't always money. The friends I have made, the love I've shared with people on here, and with those that I've gotten to meet from off of here, I've made my success. That is success. You know, if God has been able to reach someone using me as that conduit, then I have my success. That is what success is to me. Would I like to have more money and be able to do more things? Sure. But I work with what I got. I work with what God allows me to have. And God has His reasons for having me at the stage that I'm at right now. And if He builds that up financially later on to be able to do more things, well, that'll be up to God. But on that, you know, God will also see there's a lot of prosperity preachers out there who talk about, oh, you know, you come to God and He'll bless you. make you financially successful. Well, it ain't about the money. God's word says that He will prosper you so as your soul prospers. And what does that mean? That means as you grow in your faith in God, the more God can trust you with. And the more that God can trust you with, the more you'll get. But it's not always money. So that's where people get confused. If it's about money, then you're serving mammon. Mammon is money, and it is of Satan. It's called greed. Now, is it a shame to make more money? No. Is it a shame to have money? No. Money is a tool by which we trade with one another. It is the love of money that is evil. But God has to be able to trust you with what He gives you, to not forget Him and how you got there. He has to be able to trust you to glorify Him for everything you've been given, and not forget where it comes from. Right, Josie, it's a tool for success. But again, success is what your idea of success is. You know, I've seen great, big, beautiful homes. They're great. They're nice. I love the architecture on a lot of them. Not so much on others. I've seen grand things. Oh, that'd be nice. You know, but I don't need a great big house. I would like to have more room than what we have now. That is true. But I don't have to have a great big 5 or 10,000 square foot home with lots of acreage to be successful and comfortable. In fact, I'd be uncomfortable with such, because I wouldn't be able to enjoy that much room. I can't get around much. I wouldn't be able to enjoy that much land, because I wouldn't be able to get out there and take care of it like it would need to be. So it would make no sense to have it when I can't enjoy and appreciate it. So what's my idea of success? Just enough to be comfortable, as long as it's within God's will. And if this is how God has for me to be, so be it. That's God's will. I have no bitterness for it. As long as we have it to do it, Mama Linda, we can help others to the point of, what we can afford to do so. It has to be by our choice. A lot of people out there think that because you've got money, you should give them money. That's not how it works. Because when it comes to a point where they're draining you for them to have, then no, they don't deserve it, because they're just using you. I've been able to help out a few people along the way in small ways, but that little bit of help wasn't small to them. My little sis Bootsy up there at Minto, she had a neighbor. He was a metal scrapper. Folks, he was doing it by hand. The most simplest, hardest ways to glean metal from scrap in order to make any money off of it. That's how he was doing it. He was using a knife and and or a nail to strip wire to get the copper. Uh, he had the simplest of tools to be able to cut metal, to break it down, to be able to take it and turn it in to get the money off of it. You know, so we went to Harbor Freight and bought him a $20 grinder and a set or two of 10 cutting wheels to give to him. And folks, in a month's time, he had all the metal that he had gathered around in his yard cleared up. And I'm saying he had a lot of it. Right, Josie? Exactly right. The man knew how. He just didn't have the means to get it done quick. Now, he got that grinder. Well, he got with it. And he was able to clean up his place and get it all took care of so that he'd have room to get more and do more. So, there's a small gift that meant a world of difference for that man. There's another time Elaine and I was at Sonic. We got us a little something. Well, we saw a man sitting out there, and God laid it on both our hearts to get him something to eat. You could tell he was homeless. And somebody else ordered him something and everything. Right, Mama Linda? You never know. It might seem like the simplest, easiest, cheapest thing to you. But that person receiving that little gift could mean the world because it makes that big a difference in their life. That man we saw at the Sonic Week, uh, we need, you know, God laid it on our hearts to get him something to eat. Well, we didn't know what he likes. And somebody else had got him a simple little meal, but we didn't know what he likes. So we called him over there, told him to order what he wanted. Aaron! Any little thing, Aaron. Any little thing. We never know. Like that dude at Sonic, he couldn't believe we were going to let him order for himself. It was, just whatever you want to let me have. I said, no, we don't know what you like. Order what you want. He couldn't believe it. So, anyway, he ordered what he wanted. And we got it paid for. And so he sat up there at that little table he'd been sitting at. And people brought out one bag and he looked in it. Well, it was what that other person bought for them. And you could see the look of disappointment on his face. But then a few minutes later, they brought out what it was that we had let him order for himself. A smile on his face. He looked in there, he opened it. He sat down and he started taking stuff out. He set it out like a Thanksgiving dinner. Meant the world to him. Now here's the thing. God gave me the impression that what was on that man's mind was he'd asked God, he said, that he just wanted to be recognized, not be fed like a dog. He wanted to know that God was there, even in that time of trouble. He was hungry. But he wanted to be recognized and not just something sent out to him like being fed like a dog. He got an answered prayer, a prayer answered. That was God's way of letting him know God sees him. And even in that time of trouble, because looking at him, I could tell he was making that decision to end it. Now I don't know what ever became of that man, and I don't know what, not having seen us since, what he thinks he came across that day. But I do know he got a prayer answered that made the difference between him living or dying. And, Elaine and I both had that laid on our hearts at the same time. That's why we did it. I don't talk about that much because we're not supposed to talk about, what we've done. Well, God led us to do that. God put it on my heart to get that other man that grinder. And other things that have transpired over the years. But I'll never know until make it home what that was about. So any little help, doesn't matter what it is. It can just simply be smiling at somebody. You can tell it's having a bad day. Holding the door open for them. So, well, howdy, how you doing? Come on in through here. It puts a smile on their face. It makes a difference. Little things that mean so much makes a difference in a person's life. Like that smile on Niecy's face when I took, come here, girlfriend. And the nickname I picked out for her, she absolutely loves. And lets her know I see her as someone special. And with Megan, I call her Seth Umpa Lumpa because one of the shorts I saw. It makes a difference. Of course, that's what I saw that day, so that's why I call her that. But, little things like that. Little bits of encouragement are like mustard seeds that produce a whole lot of mustard. Mustard seed being the smallest seed in the world produces a whole lot of mustard. Little tidbits of encouragement can produce a beautiful garden full of blooming flowers. That's all it takes. Uh, Making a person smile, making them laugh, it makes a difference. That is my success. Accepting somebody for who they are makes a difference. You don't have to agree with somebody's lifestyle to love on them and accept them as who they are. Whatever their life is between them and God. I'm not here to judge or condemn anybody. It's not my job. I don't have the authority and I am not qualified. I can only tell them what I know, what I've experienced. Let God take it from there. I can still love them for who they are. There's things out there I don't agree with. That don't keep me from loving some folks. That's who they are. That's how they live their life. That's their business. That's between them and God. I can still appreciate who they are, appreciate how they are, appreciate their love for life, appreciate how they see things. I don't have to always agree with how they see things, but I can appreciate how they see things. So kind of a live and let live type deal. Now, if somebody comes against me, well, so be it. They're not going to like the results of that because I let it. I leave it be. I let it go and let God take care of it. There's been some folks come to a bad end because of that. I don't glory in that. I've seen the results of that. It breaks your heart to see that because we're told not to revel in the hardships brought upon people because of how they do. I've seen the results. It ain't pretty. It will break your heart. But so I don't worry about that either. I don't worry about dying. I've done been dead 3 times. I know what it's like and I know where I'm going. I've been given a little taste of that. But little bits of encouragement. Being kind. Now, being kind doesn't always mean, oh, that's all right, honey. It'll be okay. No, sometimes it's, hey, you're messing up. Child goes to grab that hot pot on that stove. What do? You slap their hand away. That's kindness. Because you don't want them getting hurt. You want to teach them that that's not good. It's the same with life and with people that you meet and that you care about. You can tell them, hey, you're messing up. You might want to think about that again. Now, you don't have to be a jerk in how you tell them, as long as you tell them, but you leave the rest of it to God and you still love on them and appreciate them for who they are. But we're not qualified to judge them, much less condemn them. They don't agree with you and how you see things. That's their business. I can still love on them. We can just agree to disagree and go on. Eric B., how are you doing tonight, sir? But, you can be kind. You can be encouraging. You don't have to, accept how others live their life, to love on them. Well, that's good, Eric B. Folks, that's a man that's on fire for God right there, Eric B. He's got a passion for God that it's kind of unique. It's kind of rare. You can. He definitely got the Holy Ghost. You feel that love oozing out of him. But that's all it takes. A little kindness, a little encouragement. Not being judgmental. You can judge, but it has to be righteous judgment. The righteous judgment is being able to see the facts of a situation and base that judgment off of the facts. Being judgmental is just assuming what you want to think about something or somebody and running with it. And there is a difference. And we make judgments every day. They're called opinions. Is that opinion based in fact, or is it based off of assumption? One is a judgment, one is judgmental. There is a difference. So I make my opinions. I try my dead level best to form my opinions based on the facts of what I see and know. And if I'm not sure, I can only speculate as to what is or is not until I gain more information on the facts of a situation to make a righteous judgment and not be judgmental. There's a lot of things I might not never know the full facts, but I can make a presumption, which is different from an assumption, in the fact that a presumption is an opinion formed based on the facts that you're able to see around a situation. But you also have to be able to know all the different avenues of what could be based off what you do see. You know, I love being able to talk to people in person because in person I can hear the tone of their voice, I can see their body language. If their body language ain't matching up to what they're saying and their tone isn't matching up to what they're saying, I know something's off. People tell me that I can see it in time sometimes too, folks, just so y'all know. Yes, sir, we are. But having on that, like I've had to tell a few, I'm not here for the masses. I'm here for those who do reach the masses. That's what I'm for. I don't have that ability that some have, God given, to reach a lot of people. But God does bring people across my path that do have that ability, God given ability. I'm here for those. I encourage those. God has me reveal to them things about themselves that they're not able to see of themselves yet, and that others cannot see. And therefore able to encourage them to keep going and growing in the Lord. Like I'm worried about the grammatical mishap there. The internet and chat and everything is full of really bad grammar. Yeah, but you know, that's who I'm here for in that sense. Everybody else, I'm just here to encourage and hopefully put a smile on their face. That's my job. That's a big part of my purpose. You know, I let Dale know something the other night that hit him deep in a good way. You know, Mama Linda and I have talked of some particular things, and we've let her know we'd rather have her in our lives. You know, Mama Linda is a very special woman to us. But that little bit of encouragement, a little bit of kindness, whether it's a hug or telling somebody they're messing up, you know, it goes a long way. It goes a very long way. Like that mini meetup. That will go to the end of my life with me. Like I expressed, I swam in an ocean of love that day. Yes, sir, Eric B. It will. That's another thing about Eric B, folks. Most of you already know, but he's involved with youth and helping them out in a lot of different ways. The impact that God is having on that youth through Eric B is phenomenal. You know, and if I was an envious man, I could envy Eric B that, but that's not my job. That's not what God has for me. That's what He has for Eric B to be and do. Because He has the heart for it. You know, and Abbott has his gifts. Dale has his gifts. You know, we each are given a gift that God will use for His glory. And we give Him that glory when that happens. That's not, you know, doing what I do, that's not me. I mean, I am who I am, and y'all want me for me, and that's wonderful. But these are things that God's doing. He's the one that makes it possible. It ain't me. When I was in the hospital, there's a nurse come in after I had my surgery that they didn't expect me to live through, not move neck down if I did. I had a nurse come in one day and tell me, "You're doing great. You're really doing great." You know, everything. I looked at her and I went, "This is all God. It ain't none of me." I couldn't have done that great on my own. The neurologist who performed the surgery, I told him he saved my life. He said, "No, I just cleaned up the mess." And that's paraphrasing everything that was said in that instance. Folks, what he was telling me was that I was beyond his help. God did the healing. But see, he didn't expect me to come up off that table either. Not move neck down if I did. He come in, nurses tell me, "You've been moving your toes." I held the foot up, my right foot up, wiggled my toes at him. He smiled. Because he didn't think that was going to happen. So that nurse come in there and told me I was doing a great job. I told her, I said, "No, this ain't none of me, it's all God." Medical staff at that place got to see A full-blown miracle. Because I wasn't supposed to be there after that surgery. I wasn't supposed to be able to move had I survived that surgery. They knew I was moving my arms, but I had yet to move my legs. So they, and this arm, my hand was like this for several days. They thought that was going to be the end of it right there. But that's all there was going to be. Now I do still have some issues with the nerves acting up and all like that. I have to take it slow. I can only do one thing at a time because of the damage that was done to the spinal cord. But I walk. God did that. And ain't nobody can tell me otherwise. Made a little nurse up there cry. She was a little LPN, and she did a lot of taking care of me. And she'd give me a sponge bath at one point. She asked me, she said, "You want a male nurse to do this?" I know something. I put my hand on her arm. I said, "Baby, it ain't about none of that." I said, "You do what you got to do." So she did. But because of anesthesia still wearing off and my nerves being all messed up, what she don't realize is I never felt it. But that makes no difference one way or the other because it's exactly like I told her. It wasn't about none of that. I was in a way, and she had a job to do. And then one day I told her, I said, "You're going to always have a special place in my heart." I said, "Because you've taken care of me as if I was your own father." She had to leave after that. And then when I darkened the hospital room door, a couple of guys on the muscle team, I don't remember exactly what they called them, but they were basically the muscle team. Big boys with big muscles. And got me up, put me in front of that walker, and took my first walk since the surgery. 70 plus steps. And this is even before rehab. And they was all elated by that. But when I darkened my hospital room door coming out to take that walk, that same little nurse, she was on the other side of the hall. And she saw me. And I saw it on her face before she could turn around. She was starting to cry. See, they didn't think I was going to walk. I was moving my leg, but they didn't think I was going to walk. I came into that. I was in that doorway. I saw her. I locked eyes with her. And smiled at her as I almost cried. I saw it well up in her face, and she turned and ran away somewhere. She got to see a miracle. But hands down, that's what it was. A full-blown miracle. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to come up off that table. That was their first thoughts. Even after having done the surgery. That was my doctor's first thoughts. Yeah, I wasn't going to make it. His secondary thought was I wasn't going to move neck down if I did. And I had told him, if I'm not going to move neck down, harvest what you can. You see, I knew I was in a bad way. So when I went to that hospital, I went to die. God said, no, I ain't done with you yet. I got more for you to do. I know he said that because I'm here to do it. We went to rehab, and they expected me to be in rehab for a minimum of 2 weeks before I even started walking. 5 days later, I was home for Christmas Eve. That was God. You know, he provided the surgery. He provided the rehab. I couldn't afford it. God made a way for it. God paid for it. I don't know who he used to do it, but he did. And I was at a well-known rehab facility. Can't think of the name. But trust me, it's well known for great results. And so you know it's not cheap. They got paid for it. I don't know how. That's God. And knowing all this, I worked hard to work with them. I wasn't going to squander what God had given me. So in 5 days, I was home for Christmas Eve instead of the minimum 2 weeks before I'd even walk. They was going by what man knows. I was going by what God knows. So these people, they got to see miracle after miracle with me. And folks, that ain't the only one in my life. There's many more. I shouldn't even be here. I should never have been able to have been conceived. Because I was conceived under some bad situations. So that's just one of many miracles in my life. God has purpose for me, just as he does all of us. And she got through that. While I was there was one nurse that was a traveling nurse, but she was only there for a time. Yeah, and I thought I was a bit hard to deal with. The nurse told me, she told me, no, we wish all our patients were like you. Because I would do what they say and work with them instead of against them, as many like to do. And all of that. I didn't give them any problems in helping me. I just told her, I said, well, I feel like this. God provided this for me. Made a way for me to be around people who know what they're doing to get me back on my feet. I said, I'm not going to spit in God's face and give y'all a hard time. And, you know, she's also a believer. She loved talking with folks and learning about them so that she could take those stories on to others in other places that she goes to work. And Mama Linda, as far as I'm concerned, we are yours. I'll just leave it like that. Uh, it has gone that far beyond just friendship. But those are just some of the things that have occurred with me. Those are just some of the things that, you know, and really just a tiny portion of things that have occurred with me, the things that God has had me do, the things that God has had me go through, the roads that God has had for me to travel, to learn the things that He's had for me to learn, but also to reach those through me that otherwise would not have been reached just by being me. That's how God made me. And so, again, I'm here for those who can reach the masses, not the masses themselves. I'll get to know some of those in the masses, but not like I do those who are for reaching the masses. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to make smile, hopefully laugh, show kindness, whether it be a hug or a slap on the hand to keep somebody from getting hurt. That's what I'm here for. To be that which God can speak through, to give someone a word that God wants them to have, whether I am aware of that word or not. Because there's been many times I've spoken and said things that God used to reach someone in some way. I never had a clue. When used to do the writings on Facebook, there'd be a lot of times I'd have to go back and read it myself because I didn't know what I put in there. Because the Holy Spirit was doing that, not me. And that's why I'll tell folks, if knowledge or wisdom you gain from my words, thank God, not I. For I am neither knowledgeable nor wise. Only God is. So with that, I'm going to get ready for Abbott. Abbott, you are going on at 8 o'clock my time, right? Here in the next 10 minutes. Abbott. Where'd you go? So, and apparently Abbott's going to have a special guest on his live tonight. Don't know who she is, except other than she is called Alley Cat. And apparently she not only sings, but writes her own songs. So that ought to be a pleasure to see and hear. And all that said, Piggy loves you.